Hello and welcome to CreArtive by Nature. My name is Donna. Today I am participating in the Spring DIY Decor Challenge hosted by Christina, the DIY Mommy. I am starting off with some turquoise and warm white craft paint and a 10 by 10 canvas board. Using a paintbrush, I am adding some water and I am just adding some really messy brush strokes all over the canvas. I'm starting off with my turquoise and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some of the warm white just in spots all over the canvas. I will then use a rag and just help dab it off and to help just blend my paint colors together. This will give the illusion of a sky. Allow your paint to dry. Okay, now I am using the warm white again and robin's egg blue. I have 3 different types of papers, an old book page, scrapbook paper, and some old ledger paper. I am going to be applying the paint to all these pages, and I will be allowing some of the texture from the page to show through underneath. Okay, now I will be using raw umber and a stiff bristle brush. I will be adding water to the paint and then I'm going to be doing some splatter marks on my papers. Allow to dry well when you are done. I decided to add some of the raw umber speckled splatters onto my canvas, but I wanted the droplets to be bigger, so I'm going to tap the paintbrush on a pencil, and as you can see, it just gives bigger drops. I will also do the splatter technique that I did for the papers to create some smaller droplets. If you create too big of a drop, just dab them off with a rag. Here I have a pile of some shredded old sheet music that I had on hand. You could use scissors to do the same thing. I made the pieces smaller and then using some decoupage glue, I am going to be applying the small pieces of sheet music in a nest pattern. I will be laying down small strips and then I'm going to be crossing them over. As you can see, my pile has 2 shades of sheet music pieces, one that was naturally aged and another that I had coffee stained. As you can see here, my nest is starting to take shape. Continue to layer different little pieces to continue forming your nest until you get the desired look you would like. Now that my pieces of paper are dry, I am going to be cutting some egg shapes out of all those pattern papers that I created. Just cut them down to the size that will look appropriate in proportion to your nest. You can see here that my eggs are just the right size. I am going to go back in now and just add a few pieces of the sheet music strips just in the back where the eggs will be laying, just to give a more natural look to the nest, as if the nest is kind of hugging the eggs. Then I go back in and add the cutout eggs that I have using the decoupage glue. Once I have my eggs in place, now I'm going to add just a few strips of the sheet music on the bottom part of the eggs. Again, just to make it look like the nest is hugging the eggs, just like in real life. Allow this to dry really well. Once it's dry, I decide to go back in and add some black ink to the outer edge of the eggs. This helps them to really pop out from the canvas. I'm adding some watercolor pencil to the eggs just for some shading. You can omit this step. I just like the effect that it gives. I'm doing the same with the nest using some brown. This just helps to give it some dimension. Again, this part is optional. Using some sepia archival ink, I wanted to give the edges of my canvas an aged look. I just use a rag, dab it in on the ink pad, and then rub the edges down. Now I decided to seal the whole piece with some decoupage glue. I wasn't quite achieving the look that I wanted with the ink, so I decided to seal it and then go back in and add some more ink to the edges. I am also defining the pieces of sheet music on my nest with the black pen. Again, that just really helps it to pop from the canvas. Here you can see I'm adding a bit more ink on top of the decoupage glue once it was all dry, and you can see that it just gave it a really nice rustic feel to the piece. And here's the completed piece. I'd like to say thank you to Christina and all my fellow participants, and I'd like to say thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.